So today you learned about the different properties with numbers. You learned about the identity property, the inverse property, the commutative property, the associative property, and the distributive property. Your homework tonight is a packet, and each page goes over one of the properties. The first one is the commutative, and I think all of you got that done in class today. However, I'm just going to go over it real quick. The commutative property talks about the numbers, and it doesn't matter what order the numbers are, it still works. So 6 plus 4 is still equal to 4 plus 6. Okay, you cannot use subtraction or division for this, for the commutative property, because subtraction, if I were to do 6 minus 4, it would be 2. But I can't take away 6 from 4, because the opposite of that would be 4 minus 6, and I can't do that. Okay, so moving on, the next page is the associative property. The associative property states that it doesn't matter which way you group the numbers together, you will get the same answer. Some examples are, which is 7 plus 3 plus 2, and they have parentheses around 3 plus 2, and that's the same as 7 plus 3 in parentheses plus 2. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's saying 7 plus, the associative property states that it doesn't matter where you group the parentheses, you're still going to get the same answer. For instance, on this one it would be 3 plus 2, that equals 5. Then I would add 7, my marker's running out, equals 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 2. So then you would do, let me get another marker. There we go, much better. 7 plus 5 is 12. 10 plus 2 is 12. So they equal the same thing. It doesn't matter what order or how you group them. Okay? So it says write an example of an addition problem that uses the associative property. So what I want you to do is, by looking at that other example up at the top, I want you to write your own. I'm going to write my own. Here is my example. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is the same as 5 plus 2 plus 1. The parentheses are in a different place. So the very first thing I would do is the parentheses, which is 5 plus 2, that's 7, plus 1, that's 8. Okay, let's see if we get the same thing on this side. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 5, that would be 8. Okay, so you can use this one or you can use a different one for your example. Then it asks, can you do multiplication for this? Well, let's see. Take your addition problem and change it to multiplication. Okay, that's what it asks you to do on the second question. It says, can you write an example of multiplication problem that demonstrates associative property? Oops, sorry. Multiplication, 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 multiplication. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10, times 1 equals 10. Let's see if this side is the same. 2 times 1 is 2, times 5, that's 10. It still would equal the same thing, because no matter which way you multiply it, whether you multiply it 2 times 1 or 5 times 2, you're still going to get the same answer. Okay, now what I want you to do is do subtraction with those and see if you can come up with the same answers. My guess is you're probably not going to be able to. Okay, because your numbers are going to go into the negatives. The next is distributive property. The distributive property states that you can multiply the numbers separately and then add the problems. Okay, so the distributive property, the example that they have is 4 times 6 plus 3. The distributive property is saying if I go 4 times 6, so I do 4 times 6, and then 4 times 3, then I'd add it, I'd bring this down. Okay, then I would do 6 times 4, that's 24, plus 12. Okay, 24 plus 12, that equals 36. Okay, it states that you can multiply the numbers and then add the products together to get an answer. I want you, all you have to do is just come up with a distributive property on your own. Okay, so just come up with any numbers. They don't have to be any specific numbers. Okay, I just came up with one on my own. I'm just picking numbers. And I want you to come up with your own. You can use this one, but I want you to figure it out on your own. Okay, so you would do this, and then this. Okay, make sure you add and see what you get. The next one is the identity property. This one's actually really easy. It states that for addition, it states that any number added to 0 equals that number. So it's saying 7 plus 0 is 7. Mrs. Wilson said it's just like looking in a mirror. If I was going to look at in a mirror, add nothing to myself, I would still look the same, right? So 7 plus 0, I added nothing, I'm still going to be the same. Same thing for 9 times 1. That equals 9. It's just like a mirror. Okay, so the identity property is really easy, and I want you to go ahead and do your own. That's a pretty easy one, okay? And it says my example, and you can go ahead and do that one. Now, on the back is where you need to take all of these properties and figure out which example is linked to that property. So if you look at this one, it says 6 times, number 1, it says 6 times 5 times 9. So 6 times 5 is in parentheses, and then you have times 9. Then you have 6 times, and then 5 times 9 within the parentheses. So which one of those properties is about grouping the numbers in different order? If you need to, you can look back in your packet, and if you look at the associative property, it looks like that's the answer. So you would just write associative. Okay? Then you have 8 plus 6 plus 12 equals 12 plus 8 plus 6. All that is it's the same numbers, they're just in different orders, and they're adding, so it would be the commutative property. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and finish the rest of those. I think you're able to do it. All you do, again, is look back into the packet to see which one is the example. Okay? Good luck, and I will see you tomorrow with your homework done. Thanks.